Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk specifically about Dungeons and Dragons as a product and how nowadays, modern times, right now, Dungeons and Dragons now compared to Dungeons and Dragons then, it's not about the product, it's about the hype. That's what matters, okay? So I have a valued commenter, and he's like, Scott, you say all this stuff about D&D being better than all these other, simple things, and all these other copy games, but what you don't get is it's about the product. All this other stuff doesn't matter, right? And the commenter, valued commenter, sorry I mocked him with my voice. He's wrong, and I'm going to prove it to you right now, okay? And I'm also going to push to you this idea that you have a choice right now. That Dungeons and Dragons is pushing upon you. Dungeons and Dragons challenges everyone who encounters it. Your life will not remain unchanged once you engage with Dungeons and Dragons. It will challenge you intellectually, emotionally, at every single turn. It does. Dungeons and Dragons does not allow anyone it interacts with to remain unchanged, right? And unless you protect yourself by playing older versions, which a lot of people do. A lot of people are like, I'm desperately afraid of change. Please don't ask me to change. So I stay on the old versions of Dungeons & Dragons. So there's no chance my language will change, my opinions will change, my emotions will change. It's fear. Older versions of Dungeons & Dragons are for those who are conquered by their fear of personal change. Because current Dungeons & Dragons will not allow you to remain unchanged. Let's get into it, right? It's no longer about the product, D&D. It's about the hype of D&D. And this is for a lot of American brands today. It's not about the product. It's about the hype. Okay, so every day I go get my lunch, okay? And I used to be with one company, and there's a $2 problem, and I will never return to any company owned by their parent company, which means there are literally 3 restaurants, branches, hundreds of them all over the United States, that I will never walk in their door again over $2, right? They got their $2, right? And they lost me as a customer for life at every single one of their restaurants, right? Then I started going to another place, right? Well, I listen to the news every day. And you know what the news said? It said, spicy nuggets are back at McDonald's, right? But then far more importantly, it said, and on March 31st, Szechuan sauce returned. Szechuan sauce returned at McDonald's. You know what Szechuan sauce is at McDonald's? It's the Dungeons and Dragons flavor. Why is McDonald's Szechuan sauce the Dungeons and Dragons flavor? Because Rick and Morty is a canon setting of Dungeons and Dragons, right? I don't particularly like Szechuan sauce. But right now, every single day, I am going to McDonald's, getting McNuggets, right? The spicy McNuggets, and eating them with Szechuan sauce. I don't like the taste of Szechuan sauce. You know why I eat it every day? Because it's flavored with your misery, right? I love Szechuan sauce, not for the flavor of it, but because I can eat something that someone else can't have. Right now, you go into a McDonald's. First of all, I love the idea that I'm eating something that some people don't even know they could get. I love it. It's the sweetest taste to me, right? Like your ignorance flavors my food, right? And so one, I love the idea that I'm eating something that's secret at the place. Because if you go in and you ask for Szechuan sauce, you can't get it. It's only available through the mobile app, right? In addition to that, right? You have to, if you're not a mobile app user and you just go through drive-through, you can't get it, right? And so it's this secret, highly unavailable sauce, right? And I don't even like the taste of it, but the fact that others can't have it makes me so happy, right? And it's the hype. And also, I love it because it tastes like Dungeons and Dragons. There are no sauces at any store, right, that's connected to Dungeons and Dragons except for Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce was invented with the Mulan movie. The McDonald's Szechuan sauce has a history, right? I'm eating the history. I'm eating the knowledge, right? And the history is, right, Mulan came out. I love Mulan, and I love Eddie Murphy. You know, it tastes like Eddie Murphy. It tastes like the Mulan film, right? And then it became an official D&D sauce when Wizards of the Coast created an official Dungeons & Dragons Rick and Morty box set, and Rick and Morty made Szechuan sauce famous. So I am eating knowledge. I am eating history. I am eating what you can't, right? And that is where it gets interesting. Now, you're like, Scott, none of this matters. It does. You are a dungeon master, okay? You have a choice. Are you a pinnacle dweller or are you a valley dweller, right? Do you live at Maslow's pinnacle where ephemeral hype and intangibles have incredible value, right? Or are you a valley dweller, right? And you're like, is there a roof over my head and do I have food to shove in my maw, right? There's a difference. There's a difference. And if you're going to be a world creator, guess which one you should be? Pinnacle dweller or valley dweller? And that's my point. It's no longer about the product. It's about the hype. And Dungeons & Dragons is the only tabletop role-playing game in the world that has actual swag. Everything else is scrub. That's my opinion. What's yours? Let me know in the comments below. Are you a pinnacle dweller? Are you a valley dweller? Are you ashamed to be a valley dweller? Are you proud to be a pinnacle dweller? Are you ashamed that you're a pinnacle dweller? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.